Hasbulla Magomedov apologizes for traffic violations that led to his arrest. Nate Diaz reveals he thought Rodney Petersen was actually Logan Paul. Khamzat Chimaev contradicts Dana White's claim, and former UFC fighter slams Kron Gracie. Hasbulla Magomedov has released a statement after he was put under house arrest for a traffic violation. A video posted by Dagestan's Internal Affairs Ministry showed a group of motors, including one carrying Hasbulla, blocking traffic and doing donuts on a main road. The troublemakers, including Hasbulla and his friends, were taken into custody as a result, but later released, with the social media sensation being put under house arrest. Hasbulla later apologized for his actions in a since-deleted Instagram post. Quote, "We decided to hype a little bit. Bad publicity is still publicity. That won't happen again, people. We apologize. We had to answer for it a little bit. I wasn't driving either." Hasbulla, a 20-year-old social media sensation who has dwarfism, rose to popularity in 2020 when he started posting videos on Instagram, where he now has a following of 8.6 million. He made his entry into the fight world due to his connection with former UFC lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov. In 2022, he became the UFC's ambassador on a 5-year deal. Hasbulla is often seen with UFC fighters, Dana White, and has also appeared on Mike Tyson and the Nelk Boys' podcasts. Nate Diaz reveals he thought Rodney Petersen, the man he choked out during a street fight in New Orleans, was actually Logan Paul. Diaz choked out former amateur MMA fighter and TikToker Rodney Petersen in a street brawl last month and is now facing legal consequences because of it. Diaz, who is scheduled to face Jake Paul in a boxing match in August, joked about the incident during a pre-fight press conference. The Stockton native claims to have really thought the guy to be Logan Paul.
You gonna act like that wasn't Logan? Come on, man.
Just definitely like in a flash. You thought.
Why did he run in my grill?
Over here.
I'm sorry?
You thought it was Logan?
It is Logan. What are you talking about?
Choked
Where you guys saw what happened to Logan?
During the press conference, Diaz also talked about the UFC, his love for boxing, and fighting Jake Paul. Diaz, who parted ways with the UFC after beating Tony Ferguson at UFC 279, started by saying that he had been trying to get out of the promotion for a very long time. He thinks he had the potential to earn more outside of the UFC, and he's glad that he's finally having the opportunity to do so.
My plan in fighting is always to fight the biggest name and the best fighters there are. I've been trying to get out of the UFC for a long time because I knew what I was worth, what fighters are worth, and what I should do. And it was a long road, but when I was on the way out, he was doing the biggest and the best things outside for fighting and in fighting, and I was glad I had a worthy opponent to make an attack on as soon as I got out.
On boxing, Diaz said that he always wanted to be a professional boxer, but he somehow ended up picking MMA, and that resulted in him signing contracts that held him hostage.
Like the art, each art, I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and I would have been a pro boxer when I was 18 years old, but a cage fight came up first, so I was stuck in a cage my whole career, and there were times when I got locked out in contract right away by the UFC, so I was already locked down from the beginning. I wanted to get out and do boxing, but it was contract after contract, and shit just kept chain reaction the whole time. I was just locked in longer and longer.
Finally, Diaz revealed that he's glad he's found a worthy opponent in Paul, who's young, motivated, and hardworking.
He's young, he's motivated, he's working hard. I could see that. I'm sure everybody can see that, and that kind of motherfucker is unstoppable. So those are the kind of people I want to fight, and that's why I wanted to fight Connor and the top guys. Anytime I took time off from my fights when I wasn't fighting was because I wanted the top guy, and they were trying to.
Jake Paul or Nate Diaz, who do you think will win? Khamzat Chimaev has denied Dana White's claim that he hasn't fought for a while due to personal problems. Chimaev last fought at UFC 279, where he had a last-minute change in opponent after missing the welterweight limit by over 7 pounds for his headliner against Nate Diaz. The Swedish Chechen ended up fighting Kevin Holland in the co-main event and beat him comfortably by submission in the first round. After UFC 279, Chimaev announced a move up to middleweight, where he's rumored to fight Paulo Costa next. Dana White was recently asked about Chimaev's inactivity, and this is what he had to say.
That's on him, though. He's got stuff going on in his personal life. That's not because, we're not getting a fight. Obviously, you know how it goes here. I talk about this all the time. We have to get guys 3 fights a year. So if we don't get guys 3 fights a year, we have to pay them. So the only way that wouldn't happen is if they have personal stuff going on.
Can he fight on U.S. soil?
In a series of tweets, Chimaev dismissed Dana's claim, saying that he's been calling for a fight since forever, but he doesn't understand why he's not getting one. Quote, "I have no problems with fights. If they gave me a fight, I would have fought a long time ago. I did so many training camps and not one fight. The problem is definitely not with me. I prepared in Dubai and then in Thailand. Why do I train so much if there is no fight? I don't understand." Chimaev also said that he'll fight anyone the UFC puts in front of him, be it Belal Mohammed, Kamaru Usman, Israel Adesanya, Leon Edwards, Colby Covington, or Robert Whittaker. Is Khamzat Chimaev being punished for missing weight for the Nate Diaz fight? Kron Gracie had one of the weirdest and most puzzling performances in UFC history against Charles Jourdain at UFC 288. The Brazilian jiu-jitsu ace returned to the octagon after 4 years away from fighting and appeared pretty unprepared for an MMA fight. Gracie barely engaged in any striking exchanges, and his best move of the night was grabbing onto Jourdain and pulling guard. Unsurprisingly, Gracie lost by a unanimous decision. Like everybody else in the MMA community, UFC veteran Alan Jouban was not impressed with Gracie's performance and said that his butt-scooting style isn't good for MMA. Quote, "I was watching the fights and I'm going, I can only imagine what Dana's thinking right now. Dana's got to be pissed. Dana's got to be on that red phone right now going, what the hell? He's got to be upset." When you see butt-scooting in the UFC, it's not a good look. It doesn't look like he's evolved. You got to at least be able to roll and grab a single leg. You got to be able to do something or throw some better hands. Dana wasn't pissed, however. He just felt that Gracie's game plan was rough.
I like Kron a lot, and he's a good kid. He came in very limited tonight, very limited. It's like coming out of a time capsule in 1995, you know what I mean? Tough way to try to win a fight these days.
30th anniversary, you'd never think you'd come and see that.
Well, the kid's got a ton of heart. He's got a good chin. I like him, and I don't want to shit on his.
Alan Jouban thinks Kron Gracie should fight Ryan Hall next. Who do you think would win that fight? Give us your thoughts on today's stories in the comment section below. If you liked our video, please show us some love by subscribing and turning on the notifications so that we can keep bringing you stories like the ones you just watched. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.